Happy Friday. Hi, Brady. All right, so we're gonna get started, and I want to focus on our shoulders today. So building up strength in our shoulders. Our shoulders are right here. They kind of connect your arm with your chest. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some downward facing dogs. We'll do some planks and side planks, and then maybe at the end, if you have a wall, I set up my space a little different today, so I have a wall, so we could try to work on headstand too. So we'll see how far we get. So I'm gonna start off by getting on my mat. And if you want to just find a comfy spot, maybe a rug or something a little bit softer. And I'm going to come right to downward facing dog. So let's see if you can remember what that looks like. Ready? All right. So downward facing dog, your hands are on the ground and your feet are on the ground, and you're making that triangle shape. So I'm going to put my hands on the ground and I'm going to step my feet back. Get closer if I can. All right, so my fingers are spread here, and my heels are pressing down towards the ground, and my hips are up in the sky. All right, so this is downward facing dog. Can we stay here for a few breaths? So remember, breathing in and out of your nose if you can. I'm just gonna move my camera so you can see me more. So in your downward facing dog, and then let's see if we can roll our body. So you're gonna roll your spine up to a plank. So we're gonna roll forward into your plank. And your plank, your heels are driving back, and your hands, you're pressing against the ground, and you're trying to stay nice and flat. Right? Ready? And now let's press back to downward facing dog. So you're gonna lift your hips up and press against the hands, pressing back. Downward facing dog. Do you think we can do a few of those rolls? All right. So downward facing dog. Let's roll forward to plank. Roll the spine. Nice and flat. So you don't want your hips on the ground, and you don't want them lifting up really tall. You want it nice and even. Ready? Let's press against the ground. Lift the hips up. Press back. Downward facing dog. All right, roll forward, come to plank again. Nice job, nice and straight. And then one more, roll back, downward facing dog. Nice job. All right, so you can keep rolling forward and back from downward facing dog to plank. And remember, plank is nice and flat. So you want to stay stiff like a board, like a plank. That's why it's called that. Cats, roll it on me. All right, and next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try side plank, okay? So let's come back to downward facing dog, then we're gonna go to our plank, and then we're gonna see if we can go to side plank. So I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so downward facing dog. And when you're ready, let's roll to plank. Roll the spine. All right, so side plank. What you can do is you can drop one knee, and then you're gonna lift the opposite arm up like this. If you want, you can bring that leg out and make a side plank. And if you're comfortable, you can start to look up towards that hand that's in the sky. Really press against the hand right here, press against the ground to lift up. All right, I'm gonna come back to plank and show you another way to do it. So come to plank again. And if that was really easy and you want to try something a little bit harder, you can start to come all the way off one side and stack the legs. So one hand's on the ground, and then this top hand you can start to lift up. Maybe you can lift your gaze. Try to press against the ground, and you want the hips to come up. So press up. Nice and steady. And now let's come back to your plank. Now let's switch sides, okay? I'm just gonna turn so you can still see me. So we'll start downward facing dog. And when you're ready, you're gonna roll forward to plank. My heels are up. And now I'm gonna drop one knee and lift my opposite arm. Look up towards the sky, side plank. You can even wiggle your fingers if you want. All right, should we try the harder one too? So let's come back to our plank. And now we're gonna try to keep both legs up. And I'm just gonna shift sideways. Hips are coming up and the hands coming up. Maybe you can lift the gaze up. Breathing. All right, and when you're ready, let's plant the hand and then come back down. Nice job. So we can do that side plank again. And if you want to even try something trickier, you can try to lift that top leg. So I'll show you what that looks like. So let's come back to plank, or we'll start in downward facing dog. So we're gonna come up, lift the hips. Really strong, let's roll forward to plank. And now I'm gonna come off one of my arms. I'm gonna come to my plank here, lift your hips up. And if you want, you can even start to lift that top leg up like a star. So you can make a star shape. And you can look down at your hand if you feel wobbly, or if you feel okay, you can start to look up towards that hand in the sky while this leg's coming up in the air. And then when you're ready, let's come back down. All right, so let's switch sides. So we're gonna lift the opposite leg up. So downward facing dog, roll to plank. Now we're gonna lift up, stack the legs, lift the hand. Maybe the leg starts to lift. Maybe you start to look up towards that hand. Nice and strong. And when you're ready, we'll come back down. Whew. Okay. So, downward facing dog, plank and side plank. And now we can work on dolphin. So this pose is called dolphin. And again, it's a lot on your shoulders. So we're building up the strength so we have nice strong shoulders. So I'm gonna get back on my mat and I'm gonna start just kneeling like this. All right, so this is gonna be a little bit trickier. Actually, I'm gonna bring my phone closer so you can see. Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my arms to the ground. And you wanna have your arms shoulder width apart. So you want your elbows to match with your shoulders, going straight down. And there's a trick to it. So what you can do is you're gonna bring your hands over your arms like this, and you want your fingers just barely able to brush outside of your elbows. And then you're just gonna start to open the arms up, keep the elbows on the ground, open the arms up like this. And you can even clasp the hands together so you can hold your hand. Nice strong grip. All right, so I'm gonna do that to the side so you can see what it looks like. So I'm gonna have my hands coming towards my elbows, and then I'm just gonna open up my hands, and then I'm gonna cross my hands together. So next what I'm gonna do, come forward, I'm gonna come off my knees, so I'm gonna tuck my toes and lift my knees up. And I'm kind of making this triangle shape again, but I'm pressing against my forearms right here. So I'm really pressing against the ground, my head's up, so it's kind of just dangling right here. All right, so we're gonna try that. I'm gonna move this farther away again so you can see. I know I'm moving my phone a lot today. All right, so let's find our dolphin again. So you're gonna bring your hands to the ground. Find your fingers over your elbows, open up the arms, hold your hands, and now I'm gonna tuck my toes, I'm gonna lift my knees up, my hips are coming right up to the sky. This is dolphin. So you can try to press against the arms to keep your head off the ground. It's really tricky. You're gonna build up that strength in your shoulders. All right, so that's dolphin. And if you want to add more, we'll do a little bit more to that too. So, take your arms and give them a break. You can wiggle them around. And then we're gonna come back down to your dolphin. Tuck my toes, lift my knees up. Now, if you want to try to do something even more challenging, you can start to do some push-ups. So I'm gonna take my head and I'm gonna reach it over in front of my arms, my hands, and then reach it back, press back. So I'm gonna reach it forward again, and then press back. So I'm gonna try it with me. Ready? Lift and reach forward, and reach back. Press against the shoulders and the arms, forward and back. All right, let's come out of that. Awesome. So those are some dolphin push-ups. So you can stay in your dolphin nice and still, or if you really want to work those shoulders in the back, you can start to reach forward and back with your head, and those are dolphin push-ups. So if you want, we can do some headstand practice. And dolphin, what we were just doing, is really good practice to try to get into a headstand. So what I did today is I put my mat right by the side of a wall. So I have a wall space that's nice and clear. So I can practice coming up using the wall, and nothing's in the way. So there's no pictures or anything. I took everything down. So if you have an open space like that, you can bring yourself over to the wall, and I'm going to show you how to start to get into headstand. All right, so here we go. Same thing is the same way you're gonna start in dolphin. You're gonna open your hands up. This time, you're gonna put your head in your hands. So almost as if you're gonna open your hands up, clasp your hands, and then you're gonna put your head into your hands. So your head's also on the ground, but you want the grip just so it's like you can just hold, I can hold the bun that I have in my hand. And then my elbows are gonna be on the ground. Okay, so make sure you're against the wall here, we might need it. So I'm gonna get really close to the wall. I'm gonna open my hands up. I'm gonna put my head on the ground, but I'm using my hands to just press against the back of my hair, tuck my toes, lift my knees, and now I'm gonna press against my arms and see if I can walk my feet forward. So you're gonna try to walk your feet as close to your body as you can. And now what you can do, you can stay just here if you want, or you can start to lift one leg up, find that wall, maybe the other one comes up, and you can use that wall to try to balance. Okay, so you can stay just like this, or maybe you can try to get one foot off the wall and tap and get the other one. Maybe eventually you can come off the wall, and try to balance to your headstand. Make sure you come down carefully. Okay, so those are some things you can do to practice your headstand. And you don't have to even come up to a wall or lift your hands up at all, your legs up at all. You can always just stay with your feet coming close to your body, and this could be part of your headstand. You could even lift one leg and just stay just like this until you get more comfortable with coming up to the wall. And then eventually, if you practice a lot and you do some of that shoulder work, you'll get super strong, and then eventually you won't need the wall. Okay, so let's do some lion's breath to end our session. All right, so I'm gonna find a spot you can see me. I'll put the music back on. Okay, so you're gonna start your lion's breath, knees together or apart. And your hands are either on your knees, fingers spread, or on the ground. All right, so I'm gonna roll my shoulders back, sit nice and tall like a lion. And remember, you're breathing in through your nose and then out of your mouth, and you're sticking your tongue out like you're roaring. Okay, ready? So take a breath in through your nose and then out of your mouth. I'll do it 2 more times. In through your nose and then out. 1 more time. Breathe in and let it out. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy today because it's nice and sunny out. And I'll see you on Wednesday at 11:30. Bye.